Hey, what is up everyone? Welcome back to another video. And did somebody ask for the real grade Zgok? Because this right here is the real grade Zgok. Once again, this is a throwback review, so I do not have the box anymore. I may be missing some of the accessories. I'm definitely missing the tiny Char Aznable that comes in here. So honestly, there isn't really a whole lot to say in this intro right here. Let's get right on into it. So anyway, there is the real grade Zgok out of the box, just snapped together with a little bit of extra effort, and that extra effort as usual is a bit of panel lining, using brown panel lining marker, black panel lining marker, and I've also used some of the decals. I'm going to mention right off the bat that I don't even remember building this kit at all. I did build it when it came out, but I just do not remember it whatsoever. So this to me is almost like looking at a kit someone else built, which is kind of hilarious. I remember a few months back I made a video about unique gunpla that are completely different to build, and just from looking at this I can see that this was one unique build. So once again, this has that full internal skeleton like we would have seen a lot of times with a lot of, actually all of, the early real grades. However, this is a very unique kind of kit, or should I say mobile suit, that does not have your typical elbows, hips, knees, etc. because it's got interesting prehensile limbs. So it goes without saying, this is a unique build right here. Also, I'll ask you guys to drop it down in the comments, but if you've built the master grade Zgok, do you recommend it? And should I pick one up? This Zgok here is rocking all the hallmarks of a real grade kit. We've got two shades of the, what I can almost call salmon pink on the torso, that is this darker one up top, and this brighter or more pinky one down bottom. There is a lot of fantastic detail on this kit coming through from the inner layer, like those bits on the top of the head. Are those missiles? Better Google it. Yep, according to the Gundam wiki right there, this is a 240mm missile launcher. It's got 6 in the top of his head, and a total of 30 rounds. We've got even more detail coming through from the gray layer in the chest, in those vents in the chest, the lower triangular ones, and the upper circular ones. The limbs on the Zgok are somewhat prehensile and made of multiple segments. These segments have 2 shades of that gray, looking fantastic, and the legs have pretty much the exact same thing, but I feel that these are a little bit on the loose side, at least mine are now, and I tend to lose some of the parts off the back quite regularly. I'm actually surprised that they're all actually there. The Zgok is rocking a clear visor in the front of its head, a mono eye peeking forward inside of that, and in order to change the direction in which that looks, you just pop off the top of the head, and then there is a wheel inside of that that allows you to orientate the eye. It appears this can also be moved up and down on top of that. Some of these Xeon designs have always annoyed me because if you pop the eye looking forward like what you're seeing right there, then put the top of the head back on, that little bit of armor section there gets in the way. You know, the armor in the middle like that would make sense if it had 2 eyes, but it's only got the 1, and that really just irks me a bit. Such a small aspect, but still. Bad design there, Xeon. So I have used some of the decals on this, not all of them, just a couple to make it look a little nicer. And even though these are square sticker style ones, you don't really see the sides or edges of the stickers all that apparently, which I think is pretty cool. I don't know how. Maybe it's just the particular shade of color. Let's see around on the back. We've got this one as well, and you can see the edge a little bit, but these are actually somehow hidden quite well. They're nice. Also, as is usually the case with real grade kits, we also have those nice silver style decals. We've got some on the back of the legs there, some on the top of those bladed fingers, and these definitely add a nice extra element to the aesthetics of the kit. I love these. Also, another thing I absolutely adore about this kit are the little propellers in the bottom of the feet. These look so good. I love that. The depth, the color separation, everything looks so good. What I don't love though is something I mentioned earlier on, and that is this. Those leg segments really like to fall out, and that one came from right here, so I do recommend gluing these into position. So anyway, moving on to that full 360-degree spin, and there is the Zgok from every angle so you can see what it looks like yourself. This is undeniably an absolutely beautiful high grade right here. The color separation looks great, the detailing looks fantastic. Once again, it is a really unique build, so I do recommend giving it a go if you have not yet. The depth to the vents in the chest, the inside of the head with the mono eye, everything looks so good. If you are wondering why the backpack, or should I say the right hand segment of the backpack is crooked, it seems like I've glued this into position, so it must have broken sometime in the past, maybe after an earthquake or a fall of some description. But on the whole, beautiful kit, very, very nice to look at. So now moving on to the accessories, and here's the real grade Zgok with absolutely every, thing that it comes with. So all that I've got right here is the base adapter. This kit right here did also come with a tiny 1/100th scale, or should I say 1/44th scale Char Aznable, but I don't know where that is anymore, so I guess we're gonna take a look at the base adapter. But before taking a look at that, we're going to take a look at some of the gimmicks on this kit. So we do have the business end of the Zgok right here. This is the combination of the iron nail, which are these movable claws right here, and in the center of both of those, oh, there goes that early real greatness. Starting to flop a little bit on me. Skyshiro, wake up! But yeah, in the middle of all three of those nails, we've got the Mega Particle Cannon, and that is present in both arms. So even though the Zgok doesn't come with any equipment for equipping onto it, this kind of makes a little bit more sense when you think of an actual mecha. This has a sole purpose. It goes underwater, comes out from under the water, and wreaks havoc. So it's got everything that it needs for that. Claws, mega particle cannons, missiles in the top of its head, it's all inside of the Zgok itself. So once again, there's nothing to equip it with, but it already comes pre-equipped with a lot of heavy duty firepower. So anyway, back to that base adapter. This, just like any real grade base adapter, attaches on down here between the legs on this little thruster segment. So that just attaches on there like so, and I can already tell you that this is absolutely terrible. Let's watch it suck. So enter a standard action base. Now attempt to attach on the Zgok. So far so good. In a standard position, no bother, but if you, I find this does not hold on whatsoever. Garbage. So now moving on to the articulation, and as usual from that, I guess, head down. We've already seen that the mono eye in there can move around. We have an opening cockpit. There it is open. There it is closed. Simple. The shoulders on this kit are very nice. There they are all the way back. There they are all the way forward, so that joint does pop out from inside. Very nice. The shoulder here is just a peg then, and although this should be able to rotate all the way around, I find the way it slots in does somewhat block that from happening, but you can get it to go all the way around with a bit of effort. Next up then, we do have full rotation at the upper arm. So the arm bend on this is incredibly interesting. We've got 1 and 2 tiny little almost fully prehensile joints there, which gives us a lot of cool motion. But then we've got almost a full elbow in here as well, which allows that to bend up like so. So pretty cool. Also around on the back of that, this armor does separate out when bent, so if you bend that back in, that's what it looks like. So one more time, there is the bend. Pretty cool. Next up, we've got some ball joint-esque movement in here. All of these can open up, up, up like so. The Zgok is rocking an ab crunch. There is the standard position all the way forward and all the way back, which is pretty much the standard position. As for the side-to-side crunch in here, we do have a little bit right here up top. That is quite nice. Finally then, we do have rotation all the way around. Front skirting armor, that does not do a lot. There it is down. There it is up and out. The Zgok doesn't have an iron diaper. It actually has a pair of iron briefs, and nothing back here moves. These thrusters around back, or should I say propellers, because these also have propellers just like in the feet. These can rotate side to side, but once again I've glued this one in position. Onto the kicks now. There's the standard position, kicking it all the way up to the front. That leg, the prehensile little bit there, is a little bit on the loose side. Next up then, kicking it all the way out to the back, and not bad. Inside the waist we do have a dropping mechanism for the hip joints. And as for the splits, there's one leg up, there's 2 legs up, not a bother on the Zgok. So moving down to the legs, and we've got 3 segments of bizarre prehensile fun, as well as what would be a standard knee. So bending that gets us this. The knee armor juts out, sticks out, so cool. One more time, there it is going all the way back in, and that is impressive. The upper part though, a little bit on the loose side. So anyway, when the foot is on the ground, there's the leg all the way to the front, not too bad. All the way to the back, that is okay, not great. Then side to side is basic, and we do have a bend, a very little bend at the toes. So when it comes to the articulation on the Zgok, it's not too bad, honestly, but what sucks is just the level of early real grade syndrome this thing has. It won't hold the pose that you put it in most of the time. It just kind of starts to flop and fall and give up most of the time. Kind of like it's slowly dying. Poor Zgok. So anyway, that right there is it for the review, and this is a hard one to rank. Visually, this thing is outstanding. Lots of parts coming through from other layers, lots of nice detailing that lets you see into the lower layers. We've got clear parts, a cool mono eye, the venting in the chest is impressive, the color separation on the torso is impressive, the surface detail, all impressive. Looks-wise, this is fantastic. However, this is let down, like a lot of other early real grades, by that pre-molded inner frame, which completely rots it to its core. Out of the box, this is actually, or I assume it was, a very nice, tight kit for a little while. But I've had mine since it came out, and it has loosened up quite a bit. I'm not sure if there's much you can do to stop it from loosening up over time. Maybe tighten up the joints, top coating that internal frame before actually putting it together. Something like that may help. But out of the box, it's just going to be a little bit of a nightmare after a while. Even still, I do feel its looks are good enough to earn this thing a silver tier. It does look phenomenal. Nice looking Zeon kits are rare, so if you do like Zeon, like unique builds, this is one that you will want. Once again, visually, it is outstanding. Anyway, as always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to come back for more Gunpla reviews, and I will see you next time.